Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the forces acting upon an inclined plane in physics. So we're going to be looking at a ramp which sits at around 79 degrees. So that is considered extremely steep, but for this example and purpose it works. So it's about 9 centimeters long. The toy car has a mass of about 13.74 grams. Even on a ramp, the main force acting on the car is gravity, which always pulls straight down towards Earth. But because the ramp is tilted, that gravity force gets split into two parts. So as you can see here in the image, there is a triangle made with the forces of gravity, that being mg cos 0 and mg sin 0. So what the purpose of these things are, and the purpose of SOHCAHTOA in this context, is that we're going to be using them to find out those two different sets of gravities so we can make it easier upon ourselves to find out the total forces acting upon the free body diagram. Forgot to include this in the main recording. However, this is useful for finding the overall net force of this, and with net force you can calculate a lot of things such as trajectory and acceleration. So that is why it is so important to find gravity. So the parallel force is the one obviously that's parallel to the surface, and this part of gravity is what pulls the car down the ramp. Next, we have the perpendicular force, and that is the car that pushes the car into the surface of the ramp. So we want to be able to identify these two different types of gravity, so it simplifies our process much easier. And again, we have to remember that there is a normal force at play, and that force is going to be pushing back on the car, which allows it for the car to stay on the surface and not sink in. If there's friction, it acts up the ramp, trying to stop the car from sliding down. If there isn't as much friction, the car will slide down because at a steep angle, like 79 degrees, the parallel force is very strong. However, for this instance, if your car is being pulled up by something, or something like that, the car can go up and the force of friction just goes down the other way. So even though gravity only pulls one way straight down, the angle of the ramp changes how that force behaves, and that's why the car feels like it's being pulled both downward and like.
Which is right here the angle of the plane, and we get 0.1018 newtons as a moment, and now we just need to calculate the work for that. So that we here this.
Yeah, because if it lasts for a period of time,
the distance of that,
feel
so
like
it's
I've been in this
0.085 times
whenever.
0.09, and you get 0.007.
Because people call it seasonal depression.
And then since right here it's flat,
called seasonal affective.
we're just gonna assume that it's 0, so that's the calculation behind it.
I just want to
You feel that way?
A lot of people have asked me. And I just want to teacher, and then a couple of people have told me because I sleep like.
Well, I wonder what
I
that
don't know, I don't know, right? Like one of my friends, I switched so fast on them, and
How long is
they're
it?
like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Is
Some of the things I
a minute and about
it's also just
a minute and 41 seconds.
Okay, that's good.
Alright.
This is being recorded.